I was training to go into the Army, and I was exercising, riding my bike, and I had a sickle cell crisis.
I can remember as plain as yesterday when Charon went through that sickle cell crisis. I remember coming home, my daughter and I, that night, and I just knew something wasn't quite right? It's like a mother's intuition. And I remember calling my husband and was like, "Where are you guys at?" And he says, "Get to the hospital soon."
So I had a crisis that led to heart failure for about 45 minutes. They revived me. I came back about 15 minutes, went out again, and ended up in a coma for about a month and a half. And at the time, they told me that I needed 42 units of blood.
So I was like, okay, how do we get blood? What do we do? Is there enough blood? Because they said that, all of his blood was contaminated, right? And they didn't know if he was going to live. They didn't know what type of quality of life Charon would have. So everything, my world just came like crumbling down. Then the doctor came in and said, "You know what? Livestream has the blood for Charon." And so then we had to move quickly because there was so much damage to his organs. He had complete renal failure. He had heart failure, kidney failure. He had aspirated. That particular day, I could just say, I don't want to lose my son. And I just whispered in Charon's ear and I said, "You gotta fight. You gotta fight for everything you can fight for. All that is in you." Livestream brought the blood in, and when Charon had his first body exchange, we could see the numbers kind of go down a little bit, but they hadn't went all the way down, but we can see something positive coming out of it. So then the hospital came back and said, "We got to have more blood." Livestream brought in more blood, and Charon numbers started to get better. And they told us that the chance of him living was very likely. And then they also told us if he did live, the quality of life would be very poor. And so I was just praying and praying. And I just would not give up hope. And then as they started to do additional blood transfers, we could see that Charon numbers turned around, and then he started to be more coherent and everything. But it wasn't until that moment that I had that epiphany of how important blood is, because the only thing I could think about at the time was, what if that blood wasn't available for my son? He probably would not be living today. And if he was, what quality of life would Charon have?
It makes me appreciate the day though, and realize that any day you can go. So why complain about little things?
Charon got a new outlook on life. He really did. It took him a while to relearn how to walk, how to talk. We just kept hope. We kept our faith. We never wavered. And today, to see that he has, after that, he has graduated cum laude. He has graduated from college.
Currently work with intellectually disabled adults, and I do occupational therapy with them. My goal is to just continue doing that because I just want to help people. At the end of the day, everyone needs help, and I feel like as someone who is disabled and marginalized, though I may not look, disabled, I understand what it's like to not have the resources, the people that help you, things like that. So my plan is to always help people who need the help. Right now, I don't really get blood transfusions anymore unless I'm in the hospital and I'm just severely anemic. I get IV fluids, transfusions if need be. They have me on round-the-clock oxygen, and they give me just pain medicine. And basically, I just wait it out, wait for the best, hope for the best until my blood cells are no longer sickle shaped.
I think today I am forever indebted to Livestream, not because Livestream says I owe them something, but because whoever the donors were, my son have a piece of each one of those people. And that's pure love, to give of yourself. That is pure love. And so I thank God today for my son. Every day I look at him, he is a living miracle. Because I know what they said. They said it was impossible. They saw no way, how Charon could be standing today. I
tell anyone I can, to give blood. It's important. It really does save lives. You don't know who you're touching, and you don't know whose life's going to change.
My life is forever committed to Livestream and the work that they do. And I believe that it is important that everyone continues to give blood.
It's a short process. They make it as comfortable as possible. I mean, you get free orange juice and free cookie afterwards, so that's always a plus. A few minutes out of your day and a little poke is totally worth it when there's someone like me who needed almost an entire body's worth of blood, you know, to bring me back to life. And it's priceless what you're doing for someone, you know, and you may help someone who wants to help someone else one day.
And even if you think that it doesn't matter if you can just give a little bit. I have sickle cell trait. And I believe that we, as those who are carriers, we can also play our part in giving. Do not think because you have the trait that you cannot give, because you can give your platelets.
I really appreciate just Livestream as a whole and all the donors, blood, financial or otherwise.
Me and my family, we continue to bleed by example.